rogue trader.
You said you had a personal request for me?
I indeed have a request, rogue trader. The accursed servants of chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in Von Valancia's territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans?
What good would this meeting do?
These children are the future of your crew, and one day, they too will have to stand against evil and heresy as their parents did. By meeting them, by speaking the right words to them, you will honor the memory of the fallen heroes and light the way to heroes in the making. They will always remember the day they met the rogue trader. Besides, it will bolster the orphans' spirits, help them recover from their loss, which can be hard for someone so young.
I will meet with them. No formalities needed. These are the children of people who gave their lives for the Von Valancia's dynasty. My consideration is the least they deserve.
I will pass on your instructions. Thank you for taking my request to heart.
The multi-group of adolescents do not take their eyes off you, gazing at you as if you are a creature straight out from a fairy tale. Our indefatigable sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. Alberlad glances at the gathered children. It's hardly the Scola Protegan here, but we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instructions. Argentina is standing to the side of the group. At your approach, she perks up and announces, her voice ringing. Brave ones, the master of this ship has appeared before you, the one who guides it through the darkness of the universe by the Emperor's will. Greet your Lord Captain, the rogue trader of House Von Valancius. You notice the Infernus Master, Inrix Montag, standing a few paces away from the orphans. He watches you with approval and bows respectfully when you meet his gaze. Infernus Master, do you serve as a teacher in your spare time? Not at all, your lordship. I'm just looking out for them in the infamous way to help folk in trouble. It's our job, after all. So we chip in rations here and there and make sure nobody gives them a hard time. We take the older ones into the clan's care if they want. Many in the guild are not our family by blood, but by circumstance. Your Lord Captain greets you, brave ones. The teenagers keep staring at you. A girl who has remained close to Argentina smiles uncertainly. A skinny, pale lad tries to throw his shoulders back and stand at attention like a soldier. Only a few teenagers at the far end of the row seem sullen and not particularly impressed. One of the scowling visitors with a thin scar across his face tosses his head back and forth and says bitterly, "So what? Why would we care? Our friends and parents died in their dozens for you noble lot, and you just give us speeches?" Argentine quickly turns to the boy, a flurry of emotions flashed in her dark eyes, like she wants to both to calm him and scold him for his impudence. If you have things to say, say them without fear. I will listen. The boy smiles grimly. It doesn't matter what we say. It won't bring our parents back. And it won't change our fates either. We keep slaving away on this ship until we drop or die like our folks. Or worse. The strong have the power to decide the fate of others. The weak either obey or die. If you seek a different lot in life, boy, save your grumbling and look for an opportunity to rise above the rest. You heard the rogue trader. His words carry the wisdom of the Imperium. It's hard to say whether or not your words have left an impression on the boy, but he nods slowly. Then he catches himself and gives you an awkward bow. Alberlad gives a sign, and servants immediately emerge carrying packaged treats with Von Valancius embezzled on the wrappers. It appears that the Sentinel came prepared for any contingency. Argentina rubs her temple pensively. She smiles and offers a few more words of encouragement, then leaves the bay. Lord Captain, the astropathic chore master Zachary Wise is asking to speak with you via private channel. Greetings, your lordship. I can report that the chore is listening tirelessly to the Imperium in hopes of picking up voices from the Dynasty ships or worlds. However, we have heard something horrifying instead. Amidst the Imperium's turbulence, something is screaming. This scream is driving our chore mad. Until it stops, we have no hope of contacting any of the Dynasty worlds. It is coming from Rykard System Aristophic Station. I do not think we've been introduced. Indeed not. And we meet under ambient circumstances. My name is Zachary Wise, and I am proud to be the chore master of your ship's astropathic chore. The duty I perform is to keep you in contact with the Expanse via aristophic messages sent through the warp by trained psychers. What is the nature of this scream? We do not know, your lordship, but it has brought the Adventurum to a boil. It has always been violent, roaring ocean that could spell doom to any who would consider stepping into its waters. Now, however, it has become a cradle of madness, where expelled images fuse together, twisting and crackling, before crashing to the minds of all who perceive it. A mighty warp storm like the which I cannot recall in the ages of the Emtharian, and it fills me with terror. If the scream stops, we'll be able to contact someone. I humbly hope so, your lordship. Perhaps we will manage to send a call to aid the Von Valancius world, or one of the Dynasty allies. We are going to pay that station a visit. Thank you, your lordship. Lord Captain, reporting. The heralds of the Navis Nobilita continue to maintain Vox silence, perhaps due to Iraq 5 being off limits to visitors. We intercepted signals that from the beacons drifting into the station's orbit. The demands are clear. We are told to turn the ship around immediately. We have also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably, it is the remains of interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the Steen Novus Nobilita House requires aid, and therefore cannot respond to our Vox transmission. Contact the station again. I will negotiate personally. The Vox relays the cadent sound of grinding gears and clicking tumblers. I'm sorry, your Lord Captain. The station does not reply even after an official greeting by a rogue trader and the declaration of your intent to negotiate in person. Order the auger crew to scan the station. Yes, Lord Captain. The Vox remains silent for a while, but then you hear static and vigorous measured voice. The officers from the auger crew perform a full scan on the station, but the information is imprecise. The note waves distort of unclear genesis that are throwing off the most readings. We are able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered and some fully depressurized. The signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. So the question remains, why are the esteemed navigator heralds ignoring us? Turn back. No one dares to give me orders. No, Lord Captain, of course not. Order the crew to commence docking with the station. Affirmative, Lord Captain. We do not know what is happening at the station, so you will have to look for the esteemed navigators blind. Dock safely, and may the God Emperor light your path.
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed.
Confess. What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
wretches, you will be consigned to oblivion for your transgression against House Orleus. Immortal Emperor, deliver us your servants from peril. Prayers do not help you, servant of the damned. In the name of House Orleus, I command you to execute these infidels. Not a step further. Master, we have some strange guests on the station. A tall man stops with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his weary face, and not just his own blood. Two jet-black unblinking eyes are watching your every move, and the third one, the mark of a navigator's fate, is menacingly pulsing behind the lower lid in the middle of his forehead. Step back, or I will unleash all the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. Abelard, if you would be so kind. The sentinel takes a deep breath. Before you stands his lordship, the rogue trader, Holt Van Valancius, heir to the greatest protectorate in the Kronos expanse and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade. Allow me to point out the Nobilite custom requires the Lord Navigator to introduce himself first, but given the unusual circumstances of this station, his lordship, the rogue trader, is willing to turn a blind eye to your hostility, but just this once. In this case, I shall turn a blind eye to your unceremonious invasion, but just this once. There is a dangerous glint in the man's dark, shrouded eyes. Very well. Allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Philippe Christophus August, keeper of this place. So you do not arrive to offer support of the traitors? This is great news. Having said that, you must understand that Urac 5 is a holy sanctum for House Larius, and the path is the only revealed to a select few. It pains me to say you are not on the guest list. Provide me with a navigator and I will immediately depart the station. I do not think this is possible. Iraq 5 is an observation station. We do not sign contracts and do not provide navigators. We delve into the depths of the infinity and chart the movements of the warp storms. And besides, Fleet gestures at the disordered around him. You have chosen an inopportune time for negotiations. I came in search of a navigator, so you are coming with me. Is that so? Even wounded Flick Alarius remains composed. I do not think so. You cannot force me, you can only end my life, but this is not your heart's desire, is it? Perhaps we can help one another and reach a more beneficial agreement. What agreement are you talking about? You came to this station for a reason. House Orleus will not be able to help you until the current crisis is resolved. But if you aid us now, I promise we will reach an agreement that you will find satisfactory. Be it riches, influence, or the powers of our navigators. I am looking for Lord Inquisitor's interrogator, one Henrix von Kolox. Do you know anything about his present location? The Lord Inquisitor's interrogator? I would think I would know if such an important individual decided to pay us a visit. What is happening on the station? Where did all these corpses come from? Betrayal. The most banal thing in life of the nobility, don't you think? I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend, Theobald Orlais. Leo. The second keeper of Iraq 5 and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged the generators, blew up the shuttles, and brutally massacred the loyal servants of my mistress. Most unforgiving, they dared to take her prisoner, greedy scum. I swear by the throne's light their souls will perish in the darkness of the void. Philippe falls silent for a few moments, and then fiercely slams the end of his staff into the floor. The madmen have captured Lady Cassaya and are now torturing her upstairs while we are idly chatting down here. Help me rescue her or be gone, but waste no more of my precious time. What kind of help are you talking about? I would never ask you for such a favor under different circumstances, and yet... Felix takes his hand away from his ribcage, noticing blood, and winces in pain. And yet, Lady Cassa... well-being is above all. I haven't got many people left, and my wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness, but you may actually succeed. In order to ascend to the mistress's chambers, you will need to remake a holy relic sanctified with the blood of Lady Orlazio herself. This is the control rod to the elevator's machine spirit. I have one part, and the other is lost during the mutiny. But even this relic will not be of use unless the elevator mechanism is powered. How do I remake the control rod? I have a phylactery containing the mistress's blood. It needs to be taken to the laboratory, which is located behind one of the requiratory doors. The most ancient and sacred mechanisms will help you to rebuild the rod. The tech priests ceaselessly perform the rite of appeasement so that the machine spirit would serve the house in its time of need. That the fateful hour is now upon us. So how am I supposed to power the elevator? The station's main cognator is situated in the guard room. Just enter the correct command sequence and the sacred mechanism will do the rest. If it's so simple, why don't you do it yourself? I never said the feat would be easy to accomplish. The path to the laboratory in the guard room is blocked by the very same madmen who took over the station. They will not negotiate and are not afraid of displeasing the Navis nobility or incurring the Emperor's wrath. They bow only to brute strength, something which I currently happen to lack. I guess that makes sense. So, what have you decided, descendant of the von Valancius line? It would be an honor to save Lady Navigator from her woes. You should hurry, then. We will stay here to hold the line and lick our wounds. Good luck, Rogue Trader, and may the Emperor's light be with you.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
White. Bright, pure color. And it's all riddled with horrible veins that carry the poison of fear and pain throughout its body. Who are you? Why are you crying?
If the witch is talking about the enemies of humanity who set upon this abode of noble navigators, Then our weapons will soon dispel their wicked misery.
What's that?
Stand firm. We must not let the miscreants defile Horse Leos. Fire at will.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Stand your ground. Weapon at the ready. Stay vigilant. Break their morale.
I must not falter.
Cleanses the body.
Follow my lead.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
There is movement in the Empyrean. What an unfortunate turn of fate. On it.
My faith strengthens me. Follow my lead. Weapon at the ready.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Who if not? You never stood a chance.
Stay vigilant. Break their morale. Armamento.
I'd rather not. No matter the cost! A tactically sound approach. Ah! Indeed. I took care of this one. I will do my duty. Reduced to dust. Victory is imminent. At your beck and call.
Anything else? Will do. Be gone! How may I serve the
Look, I know how to take risks. I always keep my options open. Just as I planned. What's a peculiar thing?
The Emperor favors me today. Damned warp. If we'd been in real space, I'd have... Spare me your wailing, witch. Every voice that sounds in your mind.
The outcome I accept. Let us not dawdle. This could be an opportunity. That's how it's done.
Never doubt me.
Do you hear the screams? Move. Sir, are you alright? We can't hear anything. Now I see. You're on league with them. Is this an insurgent? Yes, indeed. Death to the traitors! Sir, what are you doing? Get a hold of yourself, sir. I know. You're all traitors. Traitors, all of you. They told me. They whispered. Hey, who are you?
I always have a backup plan. Just as I planned. I always get the job done.
The Cognator's vid screen is covered in cracks and stained with dried blood. The buttons, switches, and levers were ripped out of the control panel with an exceptional cruelty and scattered around the sacred mechanism that now sparks and hisses in agony, still refusing to perish. You turn a few of the remaining dials and pull the activation lever. The cracked vid screen of the sacred engine flicker. The Cognator's insides emit a creak and a groan, and the lumens oscillate at random. It takes a while, but eventually the machine spirits do grant you access to the Cognator system. After a brief pause, the data appears on the vid screen. Tfalik Orlazio. Location, main hall. Status, alive. Therabon Orlazio. Location, upper chamber. Status, alive. Calamora Orlazio. Location, upper chambers. Status, deceased. Alexius Orlazio. Location, lower levels. Status, deceased. Remnus Eviston Orlazio. Location, unknown. Status, deceased. The child location, upper chambers. Biometric parameter, rapid heartbeat. Elevated body temperature. Stress level exceeds the permissible limit. Status unknown error. Attention. Calming procedure advised. Attention. Upper chamber inaccessible. Error. The control rod is not present. If the rod has been misplaced, immediately contact the station's keeper or the Nevis Laboratorium custodian. The archive data stored on the cognator's local data crypt is partly corrupted, but you managed to access the residential logs for examination. The log recording hissed for some time before you hear a voice. This is Officer A282. Do you copy? Several generators overheated on the lower level. Chamber A to D are unpowered. The tech priest crew sent to investigate the problem is not responding, requesting back. The officer's speech is interrupted by shouting and the recording abruptly ends. Officer H123 speaking. 200 servants have perished due to explosive decompression of the living quarters. We have located traces of mechanical interference. The preliminary cause is officer sabotage. Crew 5, 6, and 9 are cut off from the main compartment. We have enough oxygen for 20 minutes. May the Emperor save our souls. Senior Stations Officer. This is the captain speaking. We are attempting to contact the Winterscale Scorn for help, but something is jamming the signal. We never received a reply and cannot be sure if it was even sent in the first place. A rescue team is not coming. We are on our own, so remain vigilant. Anyone could be a traitor. You hear me? Anyone. If you are in doubt, shoot to kill. The following Vox recordings are too badly disoriented to even make out a single word. Report X880 originator classified. Date classified. The servants close to the child have started butchering one another again. An order came from above to have their remains reprocessed. Report X886 originator classified. Data classified. The negotiations with the Winterscale were a success. A new batch of servants will arrive in 10 moons. Escort them to the laboratory at once. It is imperative that we increase the new retainer's resistance to the child's powers. Report X891 originator classified. Date classified. Data expurged. The log is almost completely corrupt, but you managed to recover the latest entry. Identity confirmed. Regent Aranto Illyria. Or Celio. Data visit classified. Reason for visit classified. Date of departure classified. The yellow lights above the control panel flicker to life, and a singular repeating message streams down the vid screen. Warning. Damage to technical compartments A12, B3, D8, and H24 detected. Warning. Living quarters L10, L16, L28 depressurized. Warning. Unable to access the station's docking system. Warning. Energy regulation system unknown error. The station will transfer over to emergency power. Immediate evacuation of the facility is advised. Warning. Something buzzes in the cognator's metallic gut. Several red lumens light up above the vid screen. Required access level. Security captain above. Current access level. Senior security officer. You easily bypass the restrictions imposed on the secret machine. The cognator's overloaded processors whirl unhappily. Most of the encrypted data has been wiped. You find traces of purge protocol. Recovery is impossible, but a list of the most recent commands have been embedded in the machine spirit consciousness. Now fits across the string in a single creepingly line. Child delete pick flow disable access code. Annual station controls delete Active shuttle self-destruct purge command log. Exploring the archive for a while longer yields Eric's surveying, except from the guard captain's report, mentioning that the security system had recently been reconfigured without his knowledge. His comment reads, "Only the keepers of the station have access to the life support system. But Keeper Theobald has not left the child's side, and neither have I. Could it be that?" The system cannot carry out the command despite the eager compliance of the machine spirit. One thing is certain, the problem does not lie in the cognator's mechanism. The cogs within the sacred mechanism slowly start turning with heavy grinding and clacking. The tired machine spirit grants you access to the station's control, or at least its parts that still obey the cognator. The vid screen goes dark, and as if the machine spirit has fled their mechanical casket, but your assumption is incorrect, as it fills with static just a few moments later. You can barely make out the inscriptions amidst the flow of rapidly changing symbols. Warning, data corrupt, processing, error. The cognator takes a few moments to gather the data from the station's active system. According to the report, the door has already been opened. The door has already been opened. You push a few buttons, the control panel, but the system rebels keep resetting your commands. According to the data, the compartment you are trying to open is depressurized. The cognator takes a few moments to gather the data from the station's active systems, and the procedure follows message. The protocol has been executed. The passage has been opened. The door has already been opened. The passage has been opened. A few manipulations with the switches make you realize the elevator to the upper chamber is blocked. Processing query confirmed. You thank the machine spirit and resets the operating protocol.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust. always keep your eye on the prize. That's how it's done.
Duty prevails.
What do we have here? Is there money to be made? Just as I planned. Oh, it's a peculiar thing. I always keep my options open. This could be an opportunity. this is intriguing. Keep your wits about you. I always get the job done.
Felicoles, or Celio, looks a little better. His tangled hair is now neatly braided, his wounds are tightly bandaged, and there is some healthy color underneath the scales on his cheek. You dealt with the threat and powered the elevator. Well done. I trust you brought the activation rod as well. Remember, every second of hesitation may cost my mistress her life. Adira suddenly cocks her head and driven her nails deep into her shoulder. Then she starts mumbling. The crossroads. There are two paths, both stained with blood, both leading to the accursed eye. They all wear masks, so poor and flimsy. They fall at the slightest touch. One hiding a blind man, another a traitor. Tell me more, which paths? I cannot say. One is paved with blind faith, the other with hatred and treachery. Both lead to tragedy. You will simply have to decide what kind of tragedy you like the most. Who is who? Who do you see behind the mask? My whisperers are giggling nasally. They will not speak, the naughty little things. They say that tearing off the mask is your concern. Thank you. Everything is clear now. Adira nods tiredly and glances at Felix out of the corner of her eye. The station has enough problems without your sorcery, Psyker. Felix waves Adira off and looks at you expectantly. Felix exhales loudly and smiles. Thank you, rogue trader. I don't even know what to say. Status and honor prevented me from admitting it right before now. But you have awoken hope in me. Hope that I might actually leave this station together with the mistress. Which is why I'm about to ask one last favor of you. The lowly insurgents get their hands on a weapon that suppresses my navigator's powers. Their absence makes me a living target, but this weapon is useless against you, as it is a bunch of lunatics wielding it. I humbly ask that you deal with the scum huddling upstairs and hurry to adorn my mistress with the relic of our house, a sacred amulet against all evil. Recent events have badly disturbed Lady Cassandra's psyche, and warp entities always lust for weaker souls, especially when the veil grows thin. You too will be safe next to this charm. And what will I get in return? You'll get everything you wanted, a loyal navigator, and the undying gratitude of House Celio. If you turn out to be a lousy navigator after all this effort, I will personally feed you to avoid Kraken, just so we're clear. Felix smiles softly and appears relaxed and almost calm. if everything goes as planned, you will not have to worry about such things. You are going to need this charm. Philippe hands you a precious stone without a setting. Its luminous surface remains cold to the touch, no matter how long you hold it in your hand. And may the God Emperor's light be with you.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
The pale figure with unnaturally long limbs covers her face with her hands, which are deformed with talon-like nails. Her deathly pale face is coated with blood that continuously streams from her scarlet-misted eyes. Her spiny gills, slightly hidden under her disheveled hair, twitch nervously at your approach. Only now do you notice the third eye on the young woman's forehead, hidden behind the jeweled ornament. And when your eyes meet, you sense overwhelming, soul-smothering power. You are enveloped in despairing grief. An invisible hand closes around your throat, cutting off your breath. Your limbs seem to be filled with lead, your heart hammers in your chest, and the desire to turn and flee from the room, from the station, almost get the better of you. At the last moment, you master your emotions, and your will pushes back against the illusion, forcing its retreat. Idira emits something between a moan and a drawn-out whimper. Ow, ow, ow. As if my own little pals weren't bad enough. Now this one's barging into my head. Somebody stop her. Heresy. Argenta looks at the tall figure with a strange mixture of anger and sadness. Then she lowers her head, and her white hair veils her face. Aberlad, is this... Lady Cassie, I presume. The sentinel stares into the Lady Navigator's direction with a faraway look, then turns sharply away and awkwardly wipes at his eye. Lady Kessa, I am here to help you. Please calm yourself. She wearily shakes her head and lets out a drawn-out sound similar to both a sob and a howl of a small wounded animal. What is happening? Was someone calling my name? Are all the betrayers dead already? And you? Who are you? Holt von Valancius, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Unease settles over her features as she nods cautiously. Pardon my manners, Holt. I did not expect to make such gracious acquaintance in such a time of great sorrow for our house. What is this? I feel faint. The heavy-set old man who has been kneeling nearby erupts in low sobs. His eyes swollen, crying, dart desperately around the room, as though the veil of ignorance has just been ripped away from them. The child, Lady Cassia, where are you, sacred child, throne preserved? Despite his venerable age, the navigator leaps up and rushes to the young woman's side. You... The old man shifts, revealing his face to you. It is studded with jet-black veins, and his bulging, milky eyes bear a striking resemblance to those of a dead fish. A sickly sweet scent assaults your nostrils, as if the old man's flesh is rotting inside his decaying husk. My eyes fail me, for they are unable to make you out either enemy or ally. I'm warning you, one wrong move will bring the wrath of House Orcelios down upon your head. Watch out, Lord Captain. This one's so deranged it's making the whispers shriek like crazy. He might just open up that ISIS. Threatening the head of a dynasty is a grave offense. Esteem whoever you are. Alibrad places a hand on his weapon. I mean you no harm. I've come to seek the Navigator's aid. I'll grant you that you do not look like the pirates who have come coating the riches of a wreck station, or like scoundrels of Felix service. So who are you? Holt von Valancius, rogue trader. Another rogue trader in our corner of the galaxy? How interesting. Your kind always make an appearance in desperate times, ready to cut a deal that benefits one side alone. Given that you have not so far drawn your weapons, your intentions are probably peaceful. And so House Orsalio will ask a service of you. Save the life of the child in exchange for future cooperation. Do not hurry to answer. Think on it. You can make yourself an ally or an enemy out of our house today. You decide. What is the curse that is taking hold of everyone in this room? Theobald frowns. Curse? You do not understand that the sacred gift given to our child. When the child is sad, we all weep. When the child smiles, we all laugh giddily. And if the child wants blood, the world turns crimson. The child's will is the will of the great Stephanie, for she is the heir of House Orsalio. And they call me dangerous with my witchcraft, Yadira mutters. You look frightening. The fish eyes look at you with unwavering dignity. You were not supposed to see me, or Philippe, or the sacred child. Navigators are highly paid for their loyalty service to the Imperium according to his will. No one would dare judge the guides of humanity, the chosen of the galactic sovereign himself. What service do you ask of me? Hope glimmers in the Navigator's milky eyes. Save the sacred child. Take her away from this station. I fear I do not have long left. A bluish rivet trickles down the old man's chin, and he wipes the mutated blood brusquely away with his sleeve. You glimpse strange burns covering his flesh underneath his clothing. The slightest movement must be causing him unbearable pain. Save the child and deliver her safely to Regent Artanio, acting head of the House Orsalio in the Coronis expansion. Rest assured that the reward will be worth your effort. I know we came here for a navigator, but after everything we've seen, I've got some reservations about this girl. Argenta looks at us with a painful furrow appears on her brow. Such a fragile thing with such a heavy burden upon her soldiers. You talk as though you expect to die here. Theobald shrugs indifferently. My service to the house is coming to an end. The wounds Felix inflicted upon my flesh will never heal. I am dying, praise the throne, slowly enough to see that the child is taken care of. You need help. There's a Medicaid deck on my ship. Theobald only shakes his head. No, I am the keeper of Rack 5, and I will perish along with my station. On that note, I have other matters to attend to. I want to know what happened between you and Philippe. Philippe is my wayward student. He come to Iraq 5 as a Caliph youth. I personally mentored him and entrusted him with the care of the child. He was like a son to me, but he proved to be just another traitor. He sought to steal our most precious treasure, the heir of our house, our sacred child. prevail in the power of others like him, casting our house into the abyss to pervert the centuries-long tradition of our family. You can see the fruits of his villainy for yourself. He decided he was not bound by his duties to the legacy of the greatest of our Navatoros, Tisphone Orcelius, who led our house to propriety for the countless years. Foolish boy. The renegades clouded his mind. They sought to seize control of the dynasty before the sacred child has come of age and taken up the Navatora's throne. So choose whose side you are on, a murderous traitor, or a lawful scorn of a noble house. Theobald speaks these words softly, looking at the unconscious young woman with reverence. Philippe accused you of treachery, Theobald. Why should I trust your words? Defending myself before strangers. I never thought I'd fall so low. The old man looks at the unmoving staff and shakes his head in resignation. If the child's life were not at stake, very well. I have no choice. I have proof of my innocence. I can give you my word as a member of the Novice Nobilitas. If the honest word of an honorable man counts for anything with you. I guarded this station against calamity and incursions from without to the best of my ability. I have forced the wardens to strictly observe security protocols. I personally selected every servant, and I faithfully protected the child during the coup. How could you lose control of your own station? Do not thrust my errors in my face. I am twice your age and twice as wise. Take my advice. Trust no one but yourself and the Emperor. Even the closest to you will betray you for gold, power, or a far-fetched idea of a bright future. I believe I have made my decision. Is that so? Please share your thoughts. Philippe is a true monster. Let's do away with him together. Theobald dips his head in favor of the proposition. Allies are always welcome, even temporary ones. I will revive the child, and do not be alarmed. The power of House Orcelio Hair will help us to destroy our enemies and shield us from Felix Navigator's forces. But you, rest for a time before the battle.
Let us not dawdle. It's as good as done. I always have a backup plan.
It is time we repay those who betray our house. Come. Rogue traitor. You treacherous worm. I knew I should have killed you. That is enough, boy. Your betrayal, you betray the child, our house, and Tessevene herself. Surrender. I am the savior of our house. I am prepared to pay the ultimate price. Kill them.
I'll make an example out of you.
Death to his enemies! Can I fall back now?
Follow my lead.
That's not for us.
Rejoice in battle! Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds.
My faith strengthens me. Follow my lead.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. Indeed.
Onward! To the heretics.
Weapon at the ready.
Taking calculated risk is my second nature. I'll see to it personally. I'll make it. You should have thought another enemy down. I'll see to it your end was inevitable. Here's my perfect moment. Another enemy down.
Try to die with grace, at least. Moving out.
Stay vigilant. Break them around.
One fewer target.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury!
Follow my lead. My faith strengthens me. Follow my lead.
Weather the storm! Cover me!
Anything else?
Step aside. The navigator is coming. As duty demands.
Now, this is your burden, child. Survive. Return to the fold of your house as your destiny demands.
No! Don't leave me alone in this violet brown haze! Wake up! Your mistress is giving you an order! Do you hear me?
He was a fine seer of the war. He fought for his mistress until the end.
Yeah, no. Enough's enough. I've had my fill of waterworks, thank you.
I regret that we had to meet under such circumstances.
What need have I for your regrets? I just want things to go back to the way they were before. What are you going to do to me?
Ladies, I, Holt von Valancius, rogue trader of the Imperium of Man, offer you my protection and grant you shelter aboard my vessel.
I beg your pardon, but what about my servants? Yurak 5 is still full of people loyal to House Orselio.
All who can be saved will be giving Suncor aboard my ship.
As a Lady Navigator of House Orselio, I accept your gracious offer of protection. Please, take me to your vessel. I can no longer bear the pain of this place.
Always keep your eye on the prize. Fate and
I guide humanity between the stars.
Let's not waste time with pleasantries.
Lord Captain, Lady Navigator, welcome aboard the Sanctum. The Sanctum Navis has been prepared for the communication ritual, but if the Lady Navigator wishes to rest at her quarters first, your head starts beating furiously. Your breaths come short and choppy, and your fingertips tingle unpleasantly. You notice that Vigdis is shivering slightly, and the crew are glancing around in puzzlement, searching for the source of this sudden wave of unease. Without even looking at the Voxmaster, Cassie waves her away. First, I wish to speak with the rogue trader. Leave us. Of course. When you are ready for the ritual, please let me know. Cassandra sweeps her pensive gaze over Vigdis, then lowering her lashes slightly turns towards you. What did you wish to speak about? Before I begin the ritual, I wish to look once again into the eyes of the man whose fame is so great it managed to penetrate the impenetrable walls of Iraq 5 long before we met. It truly is you, Holt, the person whose whole expanse and Calaxis sector are talking about, and now a rogue trader as well. After a few seconds of hesitation, lets out a small exhale, then raises her pointed chin. I have not yet thanked you for saving me on the station. My thoughts were clouded with so much mournful ash when Theobald's heart stopped. But you acted honorably and did not exploit me in my wretched position, and for that I am immeasurably grateful. I am also deeply grateful you saved my servants, especially my valet. Uwe has served on the station for more than 5 years, much longer than any who would precede him. He knows how to properly attend to me during journeys through the Imperatum, and what to serve me for breakfast. His presence envelops me in a cloak of amber. But now, I am ready to go to the Sanctum Navis and perform the sacred rite. I require brushes, canvases, and the best paint you have on board, but no red. Why do you refuse red paint? She gestured towards the servant standing beside her. Uwe will give me his blood before the ritual, as always. Tell me more about what the ritual entails. I doubt the uninitiated can understand the mysteries of navigation, but I shall try to explain the essence of it. I must merge my mind and will with the machine spirit of the ship, so that I become one with the vessel. She lifts a lock of hair from the back of her neck, revealing gilded implanted ports. After that, I use House Orselio's ritual, which I am loath to reveal to you, to free my mind of all errant thoughts, and then it is time to open my third eye and peer into the depths of the warp itself. Among the nightmarish visions, mirages, and creatures of the abyss, only the light of the empires and truth that will lead me from the star to star, from system to system. Oh, the light, the guiding thread, so fine it can slip from one's grasp at any moment. She unfurls her hands as though dropping something. But you have nothing to worry about. The navigators of House Orselio never lose their course. I shall ensure that all necessary supplies are delivered to the Sanctum Novice. She nods and thanks. I shall take my leave of you for the duration of the rite. I ask that you do not follow me. Few can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it is opened. Lord Captain, I will oversee the open channel between Lady Navigator and the bridge. May the Emperor light help us all. The Vox Gather of the song. Sanctum Navis picks up the surrection of cloths, pious chanting, and the metallic clicking of implants. And then the serene voice of the Lady Navigator breaks the silence, initiating communication ritual. Come here, you've the exalted ring of metal freed from its scabbard, the low sob of the servants, the rhythmic drip of liquid on canvas, the faint whispers of the brush. Go. Footsteps hurry away. I see violet vortexes lashing an ocean with million flails. An umber shadow spinning over the surface of its in a fiery dance. A storm rising above the foaming waters. Amidst drowning in fog, the path from one end to the other cannot be seen. And here, beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother, and the sun pales disco, goes in tireless pursuit. Of her? No, of me. Its frozen rays lies that spring here and here. That spring is here. The light is deadened. The great ruler is gone. The Vox Master recoils at her words and accidentally snaps one of Cognator's levers. The panel beneath her fingers emits sparks, and the Vox caster falls silent. She quickly flips a series of switches and bows guiltily. My abject apologies for cutting off the broadcast, Lord Captain. I have never heard the warp speaking through a navigator before. The connection is restored now. It will not happen again. Soul-shredding screams drown out the Vox transmissions. The servants in the Sanctum Navis are howling and shrieking like wild beasts, moaning in pain, their throats raw from the strain, and then sudden silence. The dull thud of dropping bodies proclaim their fate. It appears the servants were part of Lady Navigator's rites, as it was for her predecessor. I will arrange for the bodies to be removed from the Sanctum Navis after the ritual, or what is left of them. Rogue Trader, I fear I have unfortunate news. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas, dividing what should have been whole in two, and my sight cannot glimpse the light of the Empire. Light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around. My brush only draws me forward, only draws me onward. The way is blocked. You hear heavy excel rustling, fabric and metallic clanking. By the Empire's grace, the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its cold steel grip did not allow me to breathe freely even for a second. It was after the depths of the ship housed not only the machine spirit, but something other. Now I will retreat to my chambers to recover my strength. Send for me if you have the need of me. Lord Captain, congratulations on acquiring a navigator. Please spare me a few moments of your time, as there are several matters that require your attention. First of all, I wish to report the condition of Station Iraq 5. Had you opted to begin your visit on to the Riker system with a different destination, the station could have become critically unstable. Fortunately, the decision to immediately visit the representation of the novice nobility have brought us precious time. We can either focus our efforts on dismantling the station and procuring technological components for our own vessel, or attempt to save as many valuables as we can. Loot everything from jewelry to the very last manuscripts. As you command, Lord Captain. With your permission, I would also like to remind you that you're still looking for Ingencia Prime. Both the vessel and its machine spirits are in desperate need of oversight by an experienced tech priest. We are also missing some of the crew. It is much more importantly, we have not yet located Henrik von Klox, the right hand of Lord Inquisitor. Now we know for certain he was not at Iraq 5, so we should keep this in mind when making any future plans. Thank you, Vigis. That would be all for now. As it pleases you, Lord Captain. Lord Captain, there is some commotion on the officer's deck. The Lady Navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the ward room, where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought her to the deck.
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
It pleases me to see you're adjusting to life aboard the ship.
Compared to Urak 5, your ship is a boundless world of unfamiliar hues. And yet, the abundance of bright colors can at times be wearisome on the eyes. The bridge and the decks are so clamorous. In my search for a place of quiet, I was fortunate to come upon this islet of serenity filled with rare tomes and practically devoid of color.
The events that took place on Urak 5 must have shaken you greatly. Are you well?
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
Your only attendant is your velvet from Iraq 5. Do my servants not measure up to your standards?
No. It is not that at all, Lord Captain. It is just that Uwe is quite capable of carrying out his duties by himself. He is well accustomed to my whims and preferences.
She cringes ever so slightly, adjusting the adornment on her forehead, then awkwardly hides her clawed fingers into a fold of her clothes. The unnatural appearance of navigators has often become the topic of gossip among lowly servants and officers alike. It is unsurprising that she prefers to keep the company of one who is used to how she looks. I hope you have ample time to calm yourself and your powers.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior in your question just now insulting.
I see you're fond of reading.
Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing. Urak 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course, although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying. You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I.
I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
You have nothing to apologize for. Human emotions are natural, be they good or bad, and it is just as natural to share them with others.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urac 5. So why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here? At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but my delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
I understand what you're going through. My own life was turned upside down not too long ago.
Indeed. I did not know. That is to say, I could not have known, as it is the first time we are speaking in a circumstance so private. My word, when I found this place, it was so full of officers. Why did they all leave?
Perhaps my people did not wish to disturb you.
Or because my presence offends them. Then I must take my leave as well. I am due to inspect the Sanctum Navis after the communion ritual and prepare the chamber for the upcoming warp jump. Thank you for your company.